Welcome back to our coverage. It's special coverage. Even though the storm is not a direct threat to us, it's passing us by harmlessly. Some minor coastal impacts, some breezier winds, not a huge deal for us. If you're wondering why we're doing this, right? It's about following through. If you're a baseball player, the good pitchers always have a great follow through, right? So we're going to make sure we're on this all the way to landfall as it approaches eastern Matagorda County now. Eastern Matagorda County, kind of right on the Brazoria-Matagorda County line. That's where that red line is, the center track of this. That's another shift to the east. This has been happening since Thursday and Friday, and even before that, that shift to the east. It's a trend that has not let up. The trend is your friend, for us at least, in this scenario. Now, the headline, I think, with the 10 o'clock update is the fact that it's still a tropical storm. Beryl, 70-mile-per-hour winds, gusts a little bit higher, up to 85. But we think here, this is the opinion of me, Kristen, KIII, is that the Saharan dust that we've got in place is getting pulled into this storm, and it's capping the strengthening. A lot of the discussions from the Hurricane Center, they were talking about this rapid intensification leading up to the landfall. That's obviously not happening to this point in time. We've only got another 6 hours or so, maybe less, before landfall. And again, we think it's the dust that was here before Beryl was that is keeping the strengthening of this storm in check. The wave heights are big, near 20 feet offshore. Some of that has been working into the coastal bend. You look at the colors here, these kind of yellowish colors, yellow-orange, that's 6 to 8 feet on the wave heights there. So we are getting the increased surf here. For tonight, we've got that forecast at 7 to 9 feet, 9-second periods. So, I saw a lot of surfers out there. Hopefully everyone was safe. The waves will be calming down tomorrow, and by Tuesday, really a non-issue at that point as the Gulf starts to settle down after Beryl is long gone. Still a surge concern up near Matagorda Bay. That's closer to where the landfall is going to be, 4 to 7 foot surge there. You step down those numbers as you get farther south. We're now down to a 1 to 3 foot surge in most of the coastal bend, 3 to 5 feet in San Antonio Bay. That's the yellow color there. Our surge, the risk of it is going down. And it's not only that Beryl is moving by the coastal bend. That's not the only reason that we're seeing that surge threat go down, but also the wind direction as it moves by. So note these wind contours here, these little, the wind flow into the storm, right? The wind is rushing into the center of the storm, and that means that from our perspective here, the wind flow is more of an offshore flow. So as Beryl moves into the middle to southeastern Texas Gulf Coast, we're going to get a straight up offshore flow, and that means that the surge in places like maybe the Packery Channel, the west side of Mustang Island, the bay side of it, the Corpus Christi bay side may have some inundation there. There may be some on the south side of the Oso Bay. Those are the areas that we think are going to have a little bit of inundation. This was the last check at some of these tide gauges in terms of numbers. Nowhere near Alberto levels. That was 3.5 feet. This is more 1.5 feet in terms of surge. Port Aransas, the highest one, 1.5 foot surge out there. And then at the Texas State Aquarium, across the port is the Art Museum of South Texas, and evidence of dryness over the barge dock. You got cars out there, people kind of watching, seeing what's going on, checking it out, and there is nothing going up over the barge dock. So that's some good news to report there. Again, as Beryl is now moving north of Corpus Christi. It's just minor impacts. We've just had a little brush with it, kind of went through the motions of what it feels like when you've got a little tropical threat headed your way. And all in all, it looks like we're going to get out of this thing with very, very minor impacts here in the coastal bend. Rudy?